summer 2022 anime. If this goes up on the YouTube channel, I don't even know what I'm going to do with it yet. What's up, though, YouTube? It's been a while. We're doing this over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/MemoryNK. Same thing as the YouTube channel. Like I said, I still don't know if I'm going to... It's going to be weird, like, if I'm saying, I don't know if I'm going to upload to this to the YouTube channel, but it ends up on the YouTube channel. But we're here with the chat. We're going to be going through and seeing what I plan to watch and what I don't plan to watch, and probably ones that I'll be like, maybe, we'll see. So, yeah, we're starting off with One Piece, which I'm reading One Piece. I am not watching the anime, though. I don't know why that looks so dull. The dark mode is probably like, it's probably two dark modes going on at the same time. It's all good, though. Next up, we have Overlord Season 4. Look at this. I have them in the layout. Look at this sexy ass visual. The greatness is back. You guys should know Overlord was actually the first, I think it was the first seasonal anime I ever watched. Summer of 2015. It was the first show I watched, I think, from that season. And yeah, look where I'm at now. I mean, 7 years later? That's just kind of insane. Very insane to think about. But we're in season 4 now. Ainz with his new kingdom, as you can see here in the description, the Sorcerer Kingdom that he's kind of built on, and he's going to continue building onto that. Previous season you kind of saw it in how they're getting a bit more political sort of with it. So I think that is going to continue with this season. And Ainz and everyone else, Demiurge, making moves out here. So I'm really excited for this 4th season. I don't think I really have to say anything else about it. You guys should know Overlord by this point, most of you guys. So yeah, next up we have Classroom of the Elite Season 2. I am going to be watching this one. Honestly, I don't remember shit from Season 1. It's been, how long has it been? I don't even know. I do not remember anything from Season 1. So maybe I shouldn't be saying I'm going to watch it, but I watched Season 1. So it's only right. And the thing that most people say with this, they're like, read the light novel, please. Like the Season 1, they butchered it. I haven't heard anything about it because the first episode already has aired as of me recording this. I heard most people said like some good things about it, but there's still some issues about like the adaptation and all of that, which I feel like that's just going to be a consistent thing with this series where people are going to say, read the light novel. So yeah, I'm still going to be watching it though. I do want to, it's over here somewhere behind me. I do have the first 2 volumes of the light novel. So yeah, I do plan to watch that. All right. So next up we have The Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2. This is another one where it's been a long time, even longer for this one, especially, which this was one of the first anime I ever watched. So it kind of brings me back. I know we have like the new art style and some people have their thoughts on that, but and also the talks of the ending. I've heard it's a bad ending and blah, 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 blah. But Season 2, I'm excited for this series to be back. It's going to be interesting, right? How I feel about it, because I feel like it's a good series. When I watched it back then, I was in love with it because it was like one of the first anime I watched and I was like, okay, this shit is awesome. I love this series. But now that I've watched so much more, maybe I look at it a different way, or maybe I'm like, oh, maybe this wasn't as good as I thought. But what's in my mind, I remember, is just how much I enjoyed this series. So, taking that into account, I'm like, okay, I'm excited for this. And from what we saw with the trailers and whatnot so far, I'm hoping for at least a good sequel here. So yeah, new studio and everything like that too, new character designs. So it's gonna be interesting. Dr. Stone special episode Ryusui, is that how you say it? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be watching this. It's like a sequel. It's a bridge or sequel to Season 2, a bridge between the 2nd and 3rd season. I had the opportunity, like I didn't see it, but I had the opportunity was there. I could have went and saw this at Anime Expo because they had a premiere screening of it, but I did not see it. Unfortunately, that would have been cool. But I think it was like very early. It was like, I think it was like 10 a.m. or something like that. And I had 3 other people with me, or really 2, because my brother kind of did his own thing. But I had Miles or Mairuzukage and Zypher with me. So I don't know, just trying to coordinate everything that we wanted to do. That's the thing with AX. You're gonna have to give up some panels or some things because you can't do everything. There's so much to do. It's impossible to do everything. So this is just one of the things that I could not make it to. But I am gonna be watching this, and I'm curious what we're gonna have with this new character as well. So yeah, that one's I feel like pretty simple. Danmachi season 4, this one as well. I will be watching. This one also premiered at AX. Did not get to see it, but that would have been nice as well. But just like the Dr. Stone one, just didn't have the time or the opportunity to see it. So more Danmachi. They're just gonna keep pumping it out, of course. I feel like I mean all these they're the kind of no brainers. They're all sequels actually. I'm still watching this. Oh boy. here's where things get a little like, should we keep watching the dumpster fire? Should we even like keep going through it? I mean, this isn't the manga. This content might still be all right, right? I don't know. I probably will still watch it, honestly. To see just how bad it can really get, man. And I wouldn't even say like without Chizuru, I mean, my goodness, what would this freaking series be, first off? But like she carried like that was, if she wasn't in the series, I wouldn't have watched season 1. I would have dropped it. But that's just me personally. But I think I'll watch it just to, I don't know, to be there for it, because I'm sure everyone's still going to be watching it as well. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have heard what is going on in the manga, or they've heard that it's getting bad, and they've saw like the stuff with the author and his like real life, well, not real life, but his girlfriend being Chizuru in real life and all that nonsense. I don't know what's happening there. I'm not gonna try and dig or think much into it. Next up, we have my isekai life. I gained a second character class and became the strongest sage in the world. I'm assuming the world is the end of that. It's a very long title. It got cut off. It's so long it got cut off. This already had the 2 episodes premiere. I actually haven't read any of this. Getting isekai to a magical world and developing incredible powers is every otaku's wildest dream. But for salaryman Yuji Sano, it's the stuff of absolute nightmare. He's in the middle of a mountain of work when he gets unwillingly pulled into a fantasy realm. No way, dude. Have we ever saw that happen before? Oh, this sounds pretty unique to me. Let's continue. Where he accomplishes the enviable feat of developing a second character class by making the most of his monster tamer abilities. Now he's traded the office for adventuring to make a living, but he keeps getting roped into major events because his powers are unmatched, second to none, and he doesn't even realize it yet. Okay, this might be the first maybe for me, because I think I actually did see, I feel like I did see the trailer, or one of the trailers for this, and it like kind of caught my attention for an isekai series. It seemed like something like, oh, I might check this out. But in terms of the premise, I mean, it's, I know I made that joke, but it's like it sounds like stuff we've had before. I'm gonna say maybe for it, because it doesn't totally sell me. I know it's just a synopsis, but that was even the you know, that's where my head was at when I watched like the trailer, or whatever trailer I saw from it. So this one is actually a good watch. I wouldn't knock it. See, that's the thing. You can't really go off of the synopses. Even sometimes the trailers could be a little misleading and whatnot. I'll say a maybe for this one. I might give it like an episode or 2 or 3 episodes, whatever. So yeah, that would be like the first maybe, I think. It's like, wow, we said you will watch Rent a Girlfriend over this one. What the heck is going on, man? Summertime Rendering, I'm still watching. Really enjoying this one. Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. I think this is the one, doesn't it have like, it has the censored version, and then it has like an uncensored version, and then I think there's like even another version after that that's like even more erotic. We watching it. we in there. Let's go. Struggling with life and society. It's like before I even read the synopsis. High school student Michio Kaga wonders about the internet and lands on an odd website. The website, featuring a number of questions and a point-based system, allows one to create skills and abilities for a character. Upon completing his character, Kaga was transported to a game-like fantasy world as a strong man who can claim idol-level curls. Thus begins the cheat and harem legend of a reborn man. Okay, I mean, Passion, man, they you know what they be doing now, especially nowadays, man. All I want is some more high school DxD. Like, come on, man. But I guess we got this to kind of maybe hold us over for that. For now, I don't even know if there's like staff of high school DxD working on this or anything like that. But there's gonna be some etchy in here, and there's gonna be, some of that goodness. So we don't really get these a whole lot. It's usually like 1 or 2 a season, if that. Sometimes more, but I feel like usually it's like 1 or 2 a season, if that. So we gonna see what it's. I watched World's End Harem all the way through. I watched that, so that's like the one that instantly comes to my mind when I think of just like something kind of erotic. But I'll be watching the Uncensored. I will be watching the Uncensored for this for sure. So probably won't be streaming, doing any reactions to it. Probably be watching this on my own. Boruto, I am not watching. Next up, we have Vermeil in Gold. A magician pushes through the magical world with the strongest disaster. This one also listed as an ecchi. It's like the first, the first tag. Well, I think it's actually sorted into like alphabetically for like the genres and whatnot. Meet Alto, a hapless student at Royal Ortigia Magic Academy, whose academic performance leaves much to be desired. Rather than take a more sensible approach to salvaging his grades in time for graduation, Alto decides to summon a bit of otherworldly assistance. Only after does he learn he's bound the legendary she-devil Vermeil into service as his familiar. But while Vermeil is a powerful ally sure to turn his grades around, her magic can only be replenished with a kiss. Oh, okay, the classic, yeah. And that makes everything go to hell with Alto's jealous childhood friend, Lilia. So he has the childhood friend character, but then also, what is she? A she-devil. Okay. That seems like a very interesting, like, relationship triangle, for sure. I don't know. I don't know about this one, honestly. I feel like the ecchi in this one, like this Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World, I feel like the ecchi for some reason is going to be hidden in this one, but this one, I don't know. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. But this one, I don't know, doesn't really give me a whole lot. First episode already came out for that one as well. So I don't know. I'm gonna say no. Could change. Maybe I hear something like, oh, it's actually kind of decent or whatever, and I check it out. Next up, we have Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun, season 2 of Made in Abyss. I watched the movie, actually, it's been, I think, 2 months now. It's been about 2 months since I watched the movie. Really enjoyed the movie. I mean, I would probably say I enjoyed it just as much as season 1, which I was a big fan of season 1, for sure. I would probably say I enjoyed the movie just about the same, if not a little bit more than season 1. I wouldn't say the movie was necessarily a masterpiece or anything like that, but it was definitely a very good movie. So I'm really excited for season 2. Reg, Rico, Nanachi going on to the next, I think it's the 6th layer now, which if you guys have saw, I have it in the layout. The concept art for this layer, like, that's something Made in Abyss is always going to be good at, is where they're adventuring at, showing off the, the backgrounds, the landscapes and all that. So it's probably going to be messed up. I mean, that's, I guess, sort of a given with this series. So, I mean, I think we all are going to go in expecting some of who knows what fuckery. But in terms of the actual adventure aspect and, the one thing with Made in Abyss, because I feel like it's, like, not even Reg and Rico. I feel like it's been the other characters that have kind of made the series for me in terms of the characters themselves. I just really hope going forward we get, I don't know, I want there, like, I feel like for Made in Abyss to go to the next level for me is with Reg and Rico's characters. Now I know there's the mystery. There's kind of a mystery around Reg's character, and we know sort of Rico's goal, like, in terms of like with her mother and what she wants to do. But I don't know. I feel like there's so much more potential for this series because I feel like it does a lot of things right. It does a lot of good things, especially in terms of the adventure aspect and showing off the different kind of creatures and where they're going. And I love how it shows off the music. Of course, is phenomenal. But the biggest thing for me is the two main characters. If we can get some serious progression, some serious development uh, with the characters, Reg and Rico, I feel like Made in Abyss goes to like the next level for me, and it's already pretty like it's a damn good series already. But I don't know if we're gonna even have that in the season or going forward, but we'll kind of have to wait and see for that. But you guys can probably tell I'm gonna be watching it, of course. Oh, I don't know what I just did there. I think I hit it twice. We're good. Next up, we have Call of the Night from Lydon Films. I actually have been keeping up with this one and the trailers that they've been putting out. And do we finally like they also had a premiere for this at Anime Expo, I think, but I was not able to see it. But please, please, can this finally be a vampire series that I really freaking like? Because I mean Vanitas was all right for me. Sarah for the End, I'd say was solid, but it's not like nothing mind blowing. I mean I'm talking like a straight up like vampire series, like a traditional kind of vampire series. Because there's other series that have like you could say JoJo, like JoJo has, but it's not like when you think of JoJo, you don't think of a vampire series. And I would even say the same for like Monogatari. Like Monogatari has, it's not a vampire series, or at least I don't consider it that. But like this here, please, please, I am begging, give me a vampire series that I can really freaking like get behind, man. Because I feel like Vanitas had like parts of that. Like there would be times where I'd be like, okay, I think I'm really getting into Vanitas, but then there'd be times where I'm like, like yeah, I think this could have been better. They could have went a different direction with this or did this a different way. Um, but we'll see. It looks very promising. It definitely looks pretty promising. The staff on it as well. I think actually isn't the director of Vanitas and he's Shaft, Shaft alumni, very affiliated with Shaft. I think he's actually directing this. So yeah, we will see. But the production value looks really good. So yeah, and even that the Wit Studio one, Vampire in the Garden. I mean that was. If you guys have watched Vampire in the Garden, I'm sorry. I mean, my goodness, I don't even know how I watched all of that. It was beautiful production wise. The production value, if Wit didn't go in with it, I would have dropped that because that's man. Don't watch that. I'm sorry, but you're like maybe curious now. Like maybe I will go watch it and see just how bad it could be, and maybe this guy's just stupid. But yeah, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it anymore. Engage Kiss from A1 Pictures, who have been, you've been hearing A1 Pictures name a lot lately, right? I feel like, I mean, with the solo leveling stuff, I think they got 2 anime this season. I'm pretty sure. A1 Pictures, they're kind of on fire a little bit lately. Of course, they got SAO. They're always gonna have SAO going on. So yeah, Kaguya-sama just wrapped up. It also was announced. I think it's getting a movie as well. Kaguya-sama is. So yeah, A1 Pictures kind of out here. They have this series here, Engage Kiss. Bayron City, a mega float type city in the Pacific Ocean. That sounds kind of cool. Which doesn't belong to any particular nation, as the mine for Orgonium, a new energy resource. This city is the most noticed in the world right now, and here special cases caused by demons called D hazards have been occurring frequently. Only a handful of people know about the existence of D hazards. They are handled by PMCs. Shu is a young man living in Bayron City who runs such a company, but his company is tiny. On top of that, he cherry picks his job, so he's always in a bind for money. His life, both publicly and privately, is being supported by the beautiful high school girl Kisara, who attends a school in Bayron. Wait, so is this a grown man? It's a grown man being supported by a girl? Like he's relying on her? Is that, or am I am I kind of getting it mixed up or thinking too much into it? I don't know. There is one more person that keeps him on her mind, Ayano, an employee of a major PMC that Shu used to work for, and Shu's ex-girlfriend. Kisara finds her unpleasant. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm not. That's a very long synopsis. I mean, I appreciate them trying to really, really sell it to us. It's an original. I think I'll try this one out. I think I'll try this one out. To be honest, it does sort of interest me what is going on. Just the setting itself, but also like these D hazards and these PMCs and this energy resource and all of that. So yeah, I think I'll try this one out. The Saikano writer and oh yeah, Sunako is the original illustrator, right? The original designer of the characters. So that's sweet. So yeah, I'm gonna be checking this one out. And like I said, A1 Pictures has been on a roll lately. Next up, we have my stepmom's daughter is my ex, and that is just right off the bat the title, which I have saw this pop up like on my timeline and whatnot, like when it's been getting like new visuals or trailers or whatever. And every time I see the title, I'm like, well, geez, that sounds like it could be kind of complicated, but it also could just make for some stale, dry romance where it's just like nothing is freaking happening. What's going on here? But a boy and a girl started dating in middle school. They were a lovey-dovey couple at first, but due to a misunderstanding over something trivial, they started feeling more frustration than excitement. In the end, they broke up when they graduated. However, Mizuto and Yume meet again in a surprising way before they start high school. Obviously, I'm the older brother here. Obviously, I'm the older sister here. The child of their parents' new spouse is the ex they just broke up with. Out of consideration for their parents, this former couple comes up with a sibling rule, which is whoever starts seeing the other as potentially attractive loses, but they sometimes run into each other right after. Oh boy, it's like that. It's like that. I don't know. Maybe it surprises me. It's kind of good. I don't know, but this sounds like a train wreck. To be honest, I could totally be misjudging it, obviously, but from the outside looking at it, I'm like, this just seems like it's just like a situation like Rent a Girlfriend or like a couple of cuckoos where it's like maybe you go in like it's like how bad could this actually be from how it sounds, because it sounds pretty bad, but hey, maybe I'll be surprised. I don't know. Nothing like cuckoos. Okay, good. I mean, I just kind of got that sort of vibe from it. Okay, I'll trust you guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys are necessarily saying it's good or whatever, but if you're saying it's not like those, and maybe I'm misjudging it, then I think I might try it out. Kaguya plus Shikamori? More so along the lines? Okay. I'll give this one a shot. I'm gonna listen to you guys, trust you guys on this one. For sure. Maybe I'm just misjudging it. Okay, next up we have Black Summoner from Satellite action fantasy. When Kelvin wakes up, he finds himself in an unfamiliar place with no memory of his previous life. It turns out that he had been reincarnated into another world, but had exchanged his past memories for powerful skills. Now a summoner, he heads out on a journey with the goddess who had brought him over to the new world, who is also his very first follower. I don't know. This just sounds pretty generic to me. See, it's so hard. It's so hard because a lot of these just sound so similar that it's like, yeah, they sound generic, but maybe this could actually be something. I don't know, but it sounds pretty generic to me personally. It sounds like something I may just might be wasting my time with. I'm not really sure. If I hear good things about it, if I see it's being rated better, I might try it out, but I'm not gonna like jump to be like, oh, I gotta check out the first episode of Black Summoner. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, all right. Next up, we have when will Ayumu make his move? I know Ozai's been saying it in the chat. I was gonna bring it up. From the creator of Takagi-san, from Silverlink, and the synopsis. This is a rom-com, probably along the same lines of kind of Takagi-san, that sort of style. When Ayumu Tanaka falls in love with the only other member of the school's shogi chess club, Urushi, he vows to confess his love for her as soon as he can. Wait, what? He vows to confess his love for her as soon as he can beat her in a match. But this proves difficult. Urushi is nevertheless thrown off by Ayumu's aggressive style as the two begin a cat and mouse game in both shogi and life in this heart-tickling room. Okay, I'll watch this. It's from the creator of Takagi-san, right? But the thing with Takagi-san with me is that, like, man, the development, we finally in season 3, I was like, this is finally freaking going somewhere, man. Like, I'm gonna be watching that movie. I could have watched it at AX, but I didn't. But I'm just like, can we speed it up a little bit? Like, hopefully this is a little more like they kind of get to it. But like, I feel like Takagi, like, I still enjoyed it. But I mean, man, I'm just like, please go somewhere. Like 3 seasons in, I'm like, please go somewhere finally. And then season 3 was like the best season of Takagi-san for sure, because it finally did that. Like, we finally saw some freaking progression. We finally saw it. Like, things are turning. Things are starting to go somewhere. If it's really drawn out like that, and it's like, I don't know if I necessarily would drop it, but because I feel like with Takagi-san, it still had that kind of like charm. You had Takagi herself, but like it just had this certain kind of charm that still made you watch it, even though like the relationship wasn't really going anywhere, nothing was happening with it. So maybe this will have that, but I don't know. I'll watch it, but I'm not gonna say I'm gonna stick with it the whole way through. All right, Ruby Ice Queendom is next from Shaft. This is the, I guess, like, I don't know, what is it, a remake? Is it a remake? Like, could I watch? I have not watched Ruby. I've heard that I could watch this without watching Ruby. So I was going to watch it because it's Shaft, but also because it's Ruby, and I've heard good things about Ruby. I'm pretty sure the first 3 episodes they had like an early screening or whatever, and I haven't watched it because to me that just wouldn't have made sense. Like, if I would have watched the first 3 episodes when they aired so early, I would have had to wait like a month or so to watch the 4th episode. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait till the regular broadcast starts and then, watch episode 1, watch episode 2, and so on and so forth. I was on a trip anyway, so that kind of like actually worked out. But yeah, I'm not gonna read too much into it, honestly, but I just know I'm gonna be watching because it's Shaft, because it's Ruby. So that's kind of all I have to honestly say about it. I don't need to watch the Rooster Teeth Ruby. Okay, sweet. Good to know. Good to know. That's what I was hearing, but I wasn't exactly 100% sure, so that's good to know. Next up, we have Uncle from Another World, Autumn 2017. Hit by a truck when he was 17 years old, Takafumi's uncle suddenly awakens from a coma that lasted 17 years. When Takafumi visits him in the hospital, he sees his uncle muttering nonsense, declaring that he has returned from another world named Gran Bahamal. Clearly, his uncle has lost his marbles. Takafumi is lost for words, but his uncle proves his claims of being in another dimension by using some magic. Deciding to use his uncle's powers to earn a living, and with no other relatives to call upon, Takafumi takes him in and they begin to share an apartment together. While living with his uncle, Takafumi learns of his fantastical adventures and his boundless love of Sega video games, cultured. But at times, his uncle's lonely and cruel experiences fill Takafumi with both joy and sadness. 2 men of different generations work hard to be video game content creators in this new and exciting otherworldly comedy set in a corner of an apartment complex. See, okay, this is the kind of stuff I'm telling you, like, this is what we need, man, which we do get it. We do get it every once in a while. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, this is like, this kind of sells me. Like, this makes me want to watch it. This makes me want to check it out, right? Like, it doesn't sound like, I'm sorry, Black Summoner, but I mean, come on. You're not doing much. Like, this, I don't know. Something, it just tells me, it jumps out to me that I want to watch this. I want to check it out. And I also did see, I actually really, I kind of like the art style from the bits that I've saw, at least. Hopefully it can keep it up, and I don't know how the animation is going to be with those kind of designs, but from what I saw, I was like, okay, this actually looks, I kind of like it. So the intro is all references to old Nintendo games. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. It's funny for gamers. Yeah, well, okay, we in there. Lycoris Recoil, also from A1 Pictures. This is earlier I was saying they have 2 series for this season. So yeah, this one, the visual, I remember I was like, okay, this looks like, at the top half, it looks like kind of like, happy, maybe like a slice of life-ish kind of thing, but then you see like them holding guns at the bottom of the visual. I'm okay, there's maybe like a little dark twist here or something else going on. So for these peaceful days, there's a secret behind it all, a secret organization that prevents crimes, direct attack, and their group of all-girl agents, Licorice, or Licorice, however you Licorice, I'm assuming. This peaceful everyday life is all thanks to these young girls. The elite Chisato is the strongest Licorice agent of all time. Alongside is Takina, the talented but mysterious Licorice. They work together at one of its branches, Cafe Lyco Reco. So yeah, like they work at a cafe. It's like because this is an original. A1 Pictures, if you guys are familiar, they've worked on like what is it, the Working series, where it's like, isn't it like set in a restaurant or a cafe or whatever? And I know a lot of people really like that series. So it feels like they're kind of taking that and they're kind of mixing it up a little bit. Because you got like this stuff with the like secret agents and whatnot. The orders this cafe takes range from coffee and sweets to childcare, shopping, teaching, Japanese to foreign students. The free-spirited and optimistic pacifist Chisato and the cool-headed and efficient Takeda, the chaotic everyday lives of this mismatched duo begin. So there's gonna be a bit of everything here at this cafe. It's not, they're not just gonna be like serving their regular items. Like there's a lot of other shit that they do too, apparently. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be checking this one out. Also, if you guys didn't know, Shingo Adachi, the character designs probably look pretty familiar. I don't know if is he doing the character designs on this. They look very similar to like SAO designs, I will say. But I think, isn't he directing this one? I'm pretty sure Shingo Adachi is directing this one, or he has a prominent role. Aoashi, I am still watching. Parallel World Pharmacy. A young pharmacologist and researcher in Japan died from overworking and was reincarnated in a medieval parallel Europe. He was reincarnated as a 10-year-old apprentice to a famous royal court pharmacist, had attained an inhuman skills of ability to see through disease, material creation, and material destruction in a society in which dubious medical practice are rampant, price gouging through the monopoly of the pharmacist guild. Oh, this might be a little woke. This might be and good medicine aren't available to the commoners. He was recognized by the emperor at that time and opened a pharmacy at the corner of town. He will wipe out the fraud that has swept the world and delivered. I don't know. This doesn't really sound all too appealing to me, to be honest. The maid I hired recently is mysterious. This is one. I feel like we get these. It's like it looks like a shota, like a young boy, but then you have like the older, busty, female character. We see these a lot. I think of like what is it? Sunohara. What is it? Sunohara-san. I think that was one. And then there was also the Mother of Goddess Dormitory, like those types of series. We see these. I wouldn't say a lot, but we do see them. They pop up from time to time. So, from Silverlink Blade, there's something really strange about the maid I just hired. No normal person could be so beautiful or cook such amazingly delicious food or know exactly what I want before I even ask. She must be using magic right. A spell is the only thing that can explain why my chest feels so tight whenever I look at her. Maybe because she's just good looking and she's nice. I swear I'm going to get to the bottom of what makes this maid so mysterious. I might just watch. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to say I'm watching it. I'm not going to say I'm sticking with it, but I'll watch it for the maid. I'll watch it for the maid. No, Nagatoro vibes. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I was getting. Like she teases the hell out of him. Shadow's House season 2 from Cloverworks. I did not finish season 1. It may surprise you guys. I'm sorry, but I was not a big fan of season 1. I did not really, I couldn't really get into this series. That's me personally. I know there's a lot of people that like it, and of course, I'm glad. I'm glad that people are enjoying the series and liking it. But for me, it just it wasn't my thing. I couldn't really get into it. I dropped it like a couple episodes in. So I gave it a legitimate shot, but it just wasn't for me. So yeah, but I'm sure, you guys that watched season 1 and like season 1, I'm sure you're really excited about this. So I'm happy for y'all. Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. I think this is isn't this from the creator of what is the series called? It also got an anime. Planet With, I think it was called. That series was a mind fuck. to say the least. I'm sure this series is probably the same way. I think a lot of that author's series are like that. He has some other series too that I know people want to see animated, but yeah, I know people were like, because there was a trailer that dropped recently for this, and people were like I'm not sure how this adaptation is going to be. Because I remember when this was first originally announced, people were like, yes, like I'm excited, like this is a work I've been waiting to see animated, and then people saw the trailer and they're like, I I don't know. But maybe in terms of the story, in terms of the content, it'll be kind of unique. That was something I actually, because I have watched Planet With, it was something unique. That's very true. So maybe this is something kind of similar to that. Actually, I don't think I've even read the synopsis of it. Um, One day, unremarkable college student Yuhi meets a talking lizard who asks for his help saving Earth from a crisis. Before he can refuse, Yuhi is turned into a member of the Beast Knights and given a ring that gives him the psychic power domain control. He is then immediately attacked by an enemy. But just as all seems lost, he's saved by the girl next door, Samadare. But it turns out Samadare isn't really a savior of any kind. She's actually a demon lord who wants to conquer Earth. Drawn to her absurd strength and evil charms, Yuhi becomes her devoted servant and acts to support her wicked schemes. So it sounds pretty wild. I mean, honestly, it does. But I'm kind of nervous about the production, to be honest. The production value. Maybe the story, the content will be good. I'll say maybe for this one for now. I'm gonna maybe wait to hear more on it. Uh, based on maybe the first episode and other things. Um, Moving on, we got the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. This was not a collab I was expecting to ever see. Studio Feel and Gaina, which isn't Gainax, but it's like kind of Gainax in a way. It's not like the old like traditional Gainax, but it's Gaina and Feel. Was not expecting this collab, like I just said. But Kirishima Toru was accustomed to solving all problems through violence and was called the Demon of Sakuragi by the underbelly of society. One day, the boss of the Sakuragi family suddenly summons Kirishima and appoints him caretaker of his only daughter, Yaika. This is a heartwarming comedy about a Yakuza crime family's right-hand man and the boss's only daughter. The two of them are about to begin their daily new lives. So you have, I mean, this man, he's in the Yakuza, so trying to take care of a daughter, trying to be a father, that could probably make for some very funny, very wholesome, interesting scenes. And because of like both of the studios, I haven't looked too much into the staff, but both of these studios that are working on it, I am definitely intrigued. So yeah, I'll check this one out. Isn't it the same studio as Origairu? Yeah, Feel. Yeah, Feel is the studio for Origairu. Yeah. Wholesomeness anime. Hell yeah. I mean, that's what it sounds like. That's what it seems like. So, yeah, especially like when like the Yakuza and what comes with that, and taking that life and then becoming having to be a father. Yeah, he's probably gonna be like, man, like I could already kind of see some scenes maybe playing out, but like, oh, this is way different than the Yakuza. Like, I like this lifestyle a lot more. Like, what was I doing back then? Kind of stuff maybe going on. I don't know if he's like, um, maybe strays away from the Yakuza life eventually or something, because it seems like he's still in the Yakuza, like while trying to take care of this girl or something. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't want to really try and pry too much into it. Utawari Romano Mask of Truth. See, here's the thing with this one. I think I'm gonna be watching it because I did watch the prequel, Itsuwari no Kamen, which it's been a while since that came out too. I am actually currently doing the visual novel, playing the visual novel for Utawari Romano. I literally have started from the beginning. I'm like 4 or 5 hours into it, so I'm not that far into it, but I have been enjoying the visual novel so far. So I'll probably watch this because there's no way I'm gonna like catch up to the do the visual novel in time to. I mean, it's already out. It's already had 2 episodes premiere, but in any way, I already watched Itsuwari no Kamen, so I'll probably like watch this. I'll follow it weekly still while doing the visual novel. But yeah, I highly recommend the visual novel. I know I'm not that much into it, but I've heard very, very good things about the visual novel for this series, and I actually really enjoyed Itsuwari no Kamen. So I am excited to watch more of this, but also continue the visual novel. So yeah. Next up we have Orient, which I am not watching. Dragon Quest, I'm not watching. Dropkick on My Devil. What is this? The third or fourth season now? Season 3. It says it right here. I haven't watched any of this. Case Closed. I'm not watching. Uh, is this? Yeah. This is the Isn't this the Common Writer like 50th anniversary project or something like that? Or it's Futo? Is it Futo PL? Is that a I or no? I think it's an I. Yeah, it's a capital I. Futo P PI. I don't know. In Futo, better known as the Windy City, Chicago, mysterious beings called Dopants wreak havoc by using the dangerous Gaia memories. However, there are also heroes who utilize the Gaia memories to fight these criminals. A half-boiled and indecisive PI, I think it's just PI. Yeah, it's supposed to be PI. Named Shotaro and his partner Philip, an intellectual type PI. The two transform into Kamen Rider W, the legendary hero of Futo City. So if you are into Kamen Rider, into that all that stuff, you're probably like, yeah, I'm in this. I think I'll check it out, or I'm leaning like maybe to watching. I'm assuming I can watch this. I haven't like dove into any of like the Kamen Rider stuff, so maybe it's not the greatest idea. But I'll say maybe on it because I'm not necessarily sure on that fact. Like if I could just go into this and check it out and see what it's hitting for without diving into anything else, then I would say yeah. But I'm gonna say maybe. So maybe if some of you guys know, um, that would kind of help my answer for that. But for now, I'm gonna say maybe. Kingdom season 4. I am reading Kingdom. I'm not watching though. I need to get back onto that reading Kingdom. Love All Play. Not watching that. Luminous Witches from Shaft. I think this is like, it's not a sequel to Strike Witches, but I'm pretty sure it's like in the same universe, or it's like affiliated with Strike Witches. I have not watched Strike Witches. This is an original. The war against invading aliens can't be won by missiles alone. A team morale matters, facts, just as much as launching a counter assault, and that's where Ginny and her friends come in. Instead of standing on the front lines with the 501st Joint Fighter Wing, the Luminous Witches of the League of Nations Air Force bring smiles to civilians displaced in the human Neroi war world with thrilling song and dance. So it's like an idol action kind of mix show. Not to mention area displays the likes of which the world music has never seen. While they might be non-combatants, these performers know the value of preserving the people's smiles. I don't know. I haven't watched any of the Strike Witches stuff. It's a spin-off to Strike Witches season 4. Yeah, I was honestly gonna say no, probably anyway, but like knowing that, I'd probably say no. That's just me though. All right, Geno Studio is back with something. Shine on Bakumatsu Bad Boys. What's the last thing we saw from Geno Studio? Because I do not remember what the last thing we had from. Was it Golden Kamuy or was it? I honestly don't remember. I feel like it's been a bit with since we had something with Geno Studio. I know we have Golden Kamuy coming, I think, in the fall, but it's like, man, I feel like it's been a bit since I saw Geno Studio's name pop up. In the era when samurai controlled Japan, the masked demons annihilated all but one member of the Shinsengumi who had worked to maintain the peace and public order in Kyoto. 7 criminals are chosen as substitutes for the deceased Shinsengumi members, and they are led by Ichiban Boshi, whose parents were also killed by the masked demons. He becomes a substitute for Commander Isami Kondo and goes after the masked demons with the other substitutes to avenge his parents' deaths. Former criminals rise up to restore peace and order as their crazy story begins. Now is the time to shine the brightest. If you are pet, you're right, Neko. I think you're right about that. So if you're familiar with like Gintama, familiar with Golden Kamuy, I mean, even other anime have had like the Shinsengumi and other characters, that are related with them. You're probably going to be familiar with a lot of the characters and probably their history in this. So if you're like a history nut for like these kinds of things, you're probably going to be watching this. It sounds kind of interesting to me. I tend to, I would say more often than not, I know they don't have a lot of stuff under their belt, but I've enjoyed their work with Golden Kamui. Kokoku was all right. That was another one I think Geno Studio did. I'll say maybe for this one. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. All right, we have Smile of the Ars Notoria, the animation based off a game apparently. Here is in this Magic Academy city of Ashram, where everyone is required to live in dormitories. A close-knit group of girls known as pentagrams pursue their studies, including training in manners and magic to become true ladies. Ars Notoria, one of the students in Ashram, lives in dorm 5 and is always with her dorm mate friends. Mel, who's the life of the party, Petite Albert, who's quiet and does things at her own pace. Oh, this is like the whole cast, okay. Pikatrix, that's an interesting name, who wants to be the class president, and Abram Mellon, who's always cool. That's some interesting names. They take classes and work on their school duties together, and they throw tea parties after school in that room. Why? Why it's like that room? Okay, well, share the girls' fun and lively days with you. Okay. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I think this one also premiered at AX. Did not have the chance to check it out. The last 5 minutes of Smile, it was definitely something. Now you make me want to like watch it, at least the first episode, and like see what was the last 5 minutes like. So like I'm only gonna go into the episode like just looking out for the last 5 minutes and nothing else. You know what's funny is when I was at Smash Burger at AX, this is like it's not off topic, but we were in line and the guy, because like I said at AX, there was a premiere for this. He was talking about this show. Like he saw it like in the because it was Crunchyroll that hosted the panel. They were showing off like premieres and stuff, and he said he didn't have any expectations for this one, and he liked it more than he thought he was going to. Like he was kind of surprised by it. So yeah, this was the one that he was talking about, I think. I'm gonna give it an episode. I'll probably watch the first episode since it's out and kind of see. I might give it more depending on how I feel about the first episode. But Smash Burger was good, by the way. That was the first time I ever had Smash Burger. That was really good. But the line was like really long. I waited in line for like 30 or 40 minutes for it, but I would say it was kind of worth it. What is this? Primadol? Oh yeah, this is the key. This is the key work, right? I'm pretty sure. From Byberry Animation Studio. Cafe Kuro Nekote boasts an unusual roster of employees, a group of automata, and autonomous, serve their patrons with a smile while they weren't always so suited to domestic life. Just a few years prior, automata served as weapons in the Great War, fulfilling the bloody purpose for which they were created. Now that the war has ended, these machines with human hearts search for their place in an unfamiliar, peaceful world, and their search begins. This kind of sounds like I get like Violet Evergarden kind of vibes from this one. It's like they were like in war, and now they're like trying to find out like their purpose in life, or like open up their hearts or something like that. Like I don't know. I'm not saying this is going to be Violet Evergarden, right? So don't get that twisted. I'm not saying this is going to be on the level of Violet Evergarden or anything like that, but it is a key work. And more often than not, I would say they tend to pull at the heartstrings, or they try to at least. And I don't know if Jun Maeda is working on this one. I don't think he is. I thought Jun Maeda said he was like done working on stuff. Which, I mean, that was just terrible. We're not going to go all into that, but I mean, that was terrible. Like what people were, I mean, people take some of this shit like way too seriously, man. Like what they were saying towards him and the hate and that was directed towards him. Like there's a difference between having an opinion. Like you can have an opinion like about something, right? Say something was bad and be like, oh no, like this was, I just did not enjoy this. This was garbage. But to like personally attack someone and like the death threats and all that, like that is like, so I hope Jun Maida's doing all right because I have liked some of his work and liked what he's done on some of the key works. So, but I don't think he's working on this one. I haven't heard anything about him working on this or whatever because usually he is affiliated with the key works. So, yeah, I'll say yes to this one. It is, like I said, it's a key work. Synopsis kind of sounds a little interesting to me. Gives me a Violet Evergarden sort of vibe, and in terms of like the story, like the content itself, not necessarily with the characters or anything like that. But all right, Tokyo Mew Mew New. This is the remake, right, of Tokyo Mew Mew, um, which is like a old, isn't it like a old magical girl? Maybe not like that old, but it's pretty old. Like a magical girl series, I believe. I mean, yeah, you can see it right there on the visual. But I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm not even really gonna read into it all like that, honestly, because this is one that I've heard already a bit about, and people obviously very excited for this. I'm kind of interested though, because I'm pretty sure, unless they're gonna have more seasons, they're gonna do like a fruits basket thing, or maybe they're just doing this to see how it does. But 12 episodes, I don't. I'm pretty sure Tokyo Mew Mew was like longer than that. Didn't it have like a bunch of seasons or something? I could be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of a different series, but I feel like this had like a lot of content. So if it's just gonna be 12 episodes, maybe they're just kind of testing the waters or something. But I want to see. I'm curious because shows like this, I feel like probably really paved the way for like other ones that have came after it. So I want to see kind of that's sort of like how Fruits Basket was. Now I know there was like other shojo series and whatnot before Fruits Basket, but Fruits Basket I would say paved the way for other series that came after in terms of like the shojo genre. So yeah, I'll check this out. It's kind of how I'm feeling about it. Teppin, Laughing Till You Cry from Studio Drive, based off a manga. Yayoi Sakamoto, a diehard fan of comedians and comedy acts, enrolls in the private Kazuki High School in Namba, Osaka's entertainment district, famous as the starting point for many comedians. She reunites with Yomogi, a childhood friend who once formed the comedy duo Konamanzu with her when they were little. Before long, they find themselves putting together a routine at a park like they did before in order to enter a local shopping area's contest. At that moment, a mysterious girl calls out to them. Okay, so a little bit of a kind of mystery there or something. Mysterious girl. I'll say maybe for this one. I wouldn't say it necessarily really sells me. I'll probably have to like look more into it. Maybe like look into the staff and look into other things, or maybe just check out the first episode and see what it's hitting for. But I'll say maybe on that for now. Phantom of the Idol. Most idols are fueled by their love of performing before adoring fans. See, if there's gonna be all these idol series, like this one is an idol series, but I think of like, well, I already said no to the Luminous Witches one earlier, but it's like I can only we have Love Live Superstar here. Like I'm just gonna say I'm already watching that one, but I feel like for me it's like I cannot be watching all these like idol shows. I can only take too much. I know people are like there's some people which is it's totally fine. Like people are all about their idol shows, but for me, like one a season is enough for me. Like two maybe at the most. um let's read the synopsis. Let's see. Most idols are fueled by their love of performing before adoring fans. Yuya, however, is fueled by his love of an easy paycheck. Yuya is one half of the idol duo Zings, but his supreme laziness, not to mention his disdain for idol fans in general, damn, okay, has him on the brink of getting blacklisted from the business. In a chance backstage encounter, he meets the spectral Asahia, a mysterious former idol who's eager to stage her own comeback by any means necessary. So is it like girls and boys idols, like in the same series or something, or do they kind of like maybe support each other, including assuming complete control of Yuya's willing body and aiming to become the best idol in the world? Is there zany partnership a match made in heaven, or is it pure idol hell? See, it sounds pretty intriguing to me, actually. I will say, especially if there's gonna be kind of like duo idols. That kind of I don't know why the mod thing did that, Neko. uh, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'll say maybe for this one as well. Man, the first episode has already came out for so many of these. Like, man, I'm already missing out on so much stuff. I got a lot. I had a lot to watch. But yeah, I'm gonna say maybe for this one. Digimon Ghost Game. Hello? Oh, there it goes. I'm not watching. Shoot Goal to the Future. I'm not watching. Uh, Usasi no. I don't know. Not a lot to go off of there. The Prince of Tennis. I haven't watched any Prince of Tennis, although I've heard it's a really good sports series. All right, here we go. Yurei Deko from Science Saru. So it's Science Saru. You already kind of got my attention with that. It's an original as well. Tom Sawyer Island. That instantly is like, okay, what? Tom Sawyer Island, but that's cool. But I'm like, what? Okay. Is there gonna be like a lot of Tom Sawyer like work references in here? I would assume so. The residents of this island use a visual information device called Deco to go back and forth between the super reproduction space and virtual space. There's a numerical social credit system among the residents measured in units called love. The amount of love one gets determines a resident's social standing, and this system is the reason for their peaceful society. I can already probably tell they're probably gonna. It's gonna be like some psychopath shit where there's like, oh, there's bugs or there's ways you can get around it or there's ways you could take advantage of. Or I hope that's what they do with it. Actually, like they maybe go into that part of it because I like that. Collecting a lot of love allows residents to expand their deco capabilities. So residents scramble daily to collect as much as they can. On Tom Sawyer Island, rumors spread of a phantom zero, rumored to be causing a zero phenomenon in which love is lost. One day, a girl named Barry gets caught up investigating the mysterious zero phenomenon of lost love and ends up becoming an invisible being called Yurei. Barry then meets another Yurei and a genius hacker named Hack, and joins the Ghost Detective Club. As Barry works to solve cases at the Ghost Detective Club, she becomes closer to uncovering the truth hidden on Tom Sawyer Island. That's not where I thought it was going to go, honestly. I did not think it was going to go there like they had like some Ghost Detective Club or anything like that. This sounds very intriguing to me. I'm going to say yes for me. I want to see. Obviously it could, flop. It might not be something I would enjoy, but judging off of the synopsis and it being Science Saru, I think this one might be maybe like a hidden gem. I mean, man, this is sorted by popularity. It is all the way freaking down here, man. So it might be a hidden gem, but yeah, that synopsis was certainly a ride, but a lot of it does intrigue me, I will say. Extreme Hearts. Probably gonna say no to this one. KJ File, like a kaiju. Oh, it's like a short. Okay, I'm gonna say no to that though. Shine Post, no. Bang Dream, I haven't watched any Bang Dream. Shadowverse. See, this is just the part where it's like no. It's like, yeah, I literally think that's a lot of these are just continuations anyway. Little chibi things, shorts. Yeah, I think that's it. This is everything that I'm going to be checking out, not checking out, and maybe checking out for the summer season of 2022. I feel like there's a lot of sequels, but there's also some new things that I'm interested in checking out, like Call of the Night, Engage Kiss, I would say, Uncle from Another World, Licorice Recoil. Those are just a few. Even the Ruby series, I would say, I'm fairly interested by. As with every season, I'm checking out a lot. Even things that I said like I'm not checking out or maybe checking out, like it could change, right? Maybe I hear certain things or hear good things about them, and then I'm like, okay, let me jump into episode 1 and see kind of what it's hitting for. But yeah, I think that's it for the lineup